You can submit up to 100 test cases per session. So you can run 100 test cases, and when that's done in about 60 minutes or so, you can submit another 100. You can do about 1,000 a day. This is test case to script. So this is kind of freaky. I know what I'm saying here, I didn't think we'd see in our lifetime, but it works at this level. These process very fast, and everything processes in parallel. So if you submit 100, we're going to run 100 in parallel and give you the results, right? So it's reliable. It works as bulk conversion due to large skill library and retry score technology, as I said. You get test results plus downloadable playwright scripts if you want them, or you can just rerun them on the platform in the cloud. You don't have to do anything. This is fully cloud-based, fully accessible, no big long commitments or anything else. Just use it monthly or don't. So from intent to test results, right? Fully cloud-based, no recorder. There's no recorder that pops up. There's several, I was just talking to the team. There's some vendors who came out recently and said intent. And then I looked and, we downloaded, it was a recorder. We've had recorders for, well, I don't know, since 1995. So there's no recorder. There is no recorder available. There's no scripting. There's no manual testing required, obviously, because this really automates all your manual tests. There's nothing for you to set up or debug. There's a great team collaboration features built in. You can invite your team members right to your workspace. It works directly with existing popular TCMs. So you're ready to go with your test case manager. It's just amazing. It'll pull the test right from there. Reduce time and cost automation by about 99%. This is about 100 times more cost effective than any kind of scripting or recording. There's no need for any outsourced SIs to do scripting because you can just own scripting yourself, dev or QA. And the results is you get automation scripts and results. That's what comes out of this. So we're going to jump right over now to some demos with Sergey. Turning it over to you, Sergey, to share your demo screen.
Thank you, everybody. Welcome to InstantQA, where you can provide your manual test cases and we can automate it for you. You can, after that, as Kevin mentioned, download or run it and see reports in a single platform. Let's take over a little bit the test cases. We prepared a batch of 42 test cases from 7 different websites. This one you even see in Japanese language. And again, if you don't provide the locale, we translate it in English, and everything, all the interface is going to be in English. But if you provide the correct locale, it will be in Japanese. Some of the smaller test cases on about 20, 25 steps, some on the larger side, like 36 and 40, kind of a good mix of test cases. Again, this process to process 42 test cases gonna take about an hour. That's why I'm gonna jump right now to results before I can start another batch. Just really quickly to show you how what the results gonna look like. So this is basically when the 42 test cases got executed. You will see the results of this execution. This is exactly what this Japanese test case is about. You see it's right now produced in English, but all of them, it's completed and generated, and Python script with a playwright produced and stored in your repository. Let's jump immediately to start transforming. So you click to the generate script, and you have an ability to provide, by the way, you can connect to your test case management system that we most likely going to cover next sometime in the future. But if you have your test cases in Excel, you specify the Excel, open the Excel, we give you the preview. You already seen this Japanese test case. The only thing you need to do is highlight your header for the Excel spreadsheet. We automatically pick up all the necessary column we need from your spreadsheet, and we see that you have 42 test cases. We have very important column of the script name, step description, test data, if any, expected results, if any. Based on expected results, we're gonna build your validations. And you click transform. On the back end, we spin up the containers. All the test cases spread out in parallel will be starting generating them. And this is a progress, basically, of this generation. You can go inside, see the results, intermediate results, before everything gets completed to the end. When everything is done, you can execute them. To execute them, you're going to go to the scenario. You need to create a scenario, and let's really quickly create the scenario. Let's say demo 10. We're going to choose a couple of test cases, like 10 test cases from this list. A couple of us still running, 10 test cases, and you run the scenario. Again, everything is done in parallel. That's why it takes time to spin up the container a little bit, and all of them gonna be executed. I'm gonna jump to just recently executed set to show you the result of this execution. This was one of the run with 8 test cases. All of these test cases that we just generated. And you navigate inside the result and see the results of this execution with screenshots, with validations, with all of the nice stuff you want to see as a result of your test case executions. You definitely have your usage. You can buy more a la carte, or you can subscribe to some paid subscription plans. But this is basically it.
So,
the whole.
So Sergey got some questions. Well, we've got just
Go ahead.
a few minutes here. So what I've got is English test cases. They could be in my test case management system. They could be in Excel. We automatically sort that, parse that, and turn them into scripts. Right? There's no. I didn't see you code anything, write any code, worry about code, bring up a recorder. None of that. You just literally push the transform button. Is that right?
That's right. That's right. Behind the scene, we, by the way, extracting your data from your test case and creating a separate data file for you, encrypted, completely encrypted, that you will be able for your future runs replace this data for different purpose. For example, you want to run it from staging environment, from demo environment. You want to run with one set of data for the forum, with another set of data for the forum. All of this will be done for you ahead of time. That's basically, another feature that you can use from that.
And can I change the data? Can I data drive these in different ways? Okay,
absolutely.
So full data-driven scenarios.
Yes.
All I need is test cases in English or pretty much any language. What about French or Spanish? Will that work?
If Japanese works.
If Japanese works, anything works, because
exactly.
we can't read that. So why? So I got to ask you, right? Why would someone still? I mean, AppVance itself has a great recorder, right? This is separate from AppVance. It's at InstantQA.ai. But why would someone even need a recorder, or why would someone need to write a script from a test case? What would be the purpose? Why would anyone do that anymore?
No purpose. Again, you connect your test management system to us, give us your Excel with manual test cases, we generate it for you. If something is failing, let's say your interface is changing, evolving, you develop new feature, you don't need to modify your scripts anymore. Yes, you can. It's a Python script, very nicely done with the whole best practices of creating the page objects, fallback accessors, you name it. Everything is there with separate data file. You can modify it. We give you an ability to download the script. But why need to bother, right? Just rewrite your manual test case to cover your new functionality. Give it to us. We will generate it in 20 minutes, and you have a new script.
So literally fix the intent, which should be fixed anyway. You want to update your test cases. Literally
Yes.
just update the test case, let all of that background code happen and run the test. And what I find interesting here is it starts to make the script an artifact that no one really cares much about. It's this interim artifact because I've got my intent and I have my results coming out of the same system because we run the script for you. And so if you don't like the results or you want to change the flows, you should change it at the test case because you really want to move from intent to results. The fact that the script is there and that you can download it is interesting, but it's now an artifact we don't really care about and it costs so little. And it has limited value. I know that's a little crazy because we spent 30 years in this industry valuing our scripts and now, boom, done.
Absolutely right.
All right,
Absolutely
we better turn
right.
it back to David here in the minute or two we have left. Maybe David's got some questions, comments.
Yeah, well, I thought that was remarkable, quite frankly. The fact that not a line of code was written and you just prompt it and you get it. So how long did it take for you guys to create this, and what was what was the driver behind it?
We had a Tiger team on this for about the last year, but we've got 14 years or so of data of exactly how this is for web only right now, I should say, exactly how web applications are built, how to interface with them. And when we say Salesforce, Workday, ServiceNow, SAP, these are very hard to test, complex, kind of deep situations where you've got we'll just say difficult accessors is the best way to say it. And so we had to teach this system a lot about our knowledge. And we had to parlay that knowledge there and put in all these retry mechanisms, smart retry mechanisms to say, no, that's not right because this is Salesforce. You have to look at it this way or that way. And all of that intelligence is probably 14 years of intelligence and a year of, a dozen people or so just working on this. So I think it's interesting. We'll run into people that say, oh, well, I hooked up Claude to Playwright and I can type. And I said, yes, and you'll probably have 50 or 60%, accuracy on the outcome. We had to do something that has to be about 100% because you're going to bulk change 100 test cases into scripts at once. So that's got to work near 100%. It can't be 50% or 60%.
Wow, that's outstanding. All right, and I know you were on the cutting edge of automated testing. We've gone back with you. Probably
14 years
or more. Yeah, I was going to say
since you had black hair.
Yeah, exactly. And when Sergey had hair, right?
Yeah, Sergey had hair. That's right. That's right.
Yeah. So so I think clearly your knowledge in this space is pretty much unrivaled. So when you saw this need, it seemed to be the next logical progression of everything you've been talking about.
I think that's right. One last thing is that it's interesting. The majority of spending in QA today is either manual testing or scripting. What does this do? Eliminate manual testing and scripting. I did not say it takes those QA jobs away because there's still a lot to do, right? There's a lot more to do, and there's a backlog of problems that we're never going to get to. But we attacked the part that takes the longest and is cost the most. And that's the value here. And we see devs using this. This is out now. It's in production. You just go and sign yourself up. We see devs using this, saying, hey, I've got to do this. We see QA people all over the world using this. It's been an amazing thing. And I think it's a game changer.
Yeah, well, that seems fantastic. So Kevin Surace and Sergey Brushka of AppVance, thank you so much for today's presentation. I thought it went really well. Certainly want to thank our attendees for listening in as always. And I want to let you know that this micro webinar is going to be available on demand on the SD Times website for future viewing or for you to share with your colleagues or whatever you want. So until next time, thanks for joining us. I'm Dave Rubenstein, editor-in-chief of SD Times. So long for now.
Thank you.